Season 8 of League of Legends has officially started today as of recording this, and I thought, you know what would be great? Let's do 8 tips for Season 8 of League of Legends. Tip number 1, CS practice. CS is such a basic mechanic in games, and being able to have more CS than your opponent is a huge benefit. You're able to get more gold, and gold snowballs into more gold. You get more kills, etc., etc. So 15 CS approximately, depending on the time and whatnot, is approximately equal to 1 kill. So if you're up by 30 CS, that's 2 effective kills worth of gold that you have over your opponent. So being able to mechanically CS consistently and at a very high rate is definitely something that everyone needs to work on. So what does this really look like? Go into a custom game, buy your starting items, your Doran's Ring, Doran's Shield, Doran's Blade, whatever the hell you want to buy, and CS. You want to be getting 80 to 100 CS in 10 minutes, obviously higher is better, and if you want to challenge yourself a bit more, try not to use abilities at all. You want to just be able to, with your auto attacks, be able to get that 100 CS in 10 minutes. Once you feel pretty confident on doing that on the champions that you main, well then you want to add a bot or two just to kind of simulate a lane interaction. I know bots aren't super great, but it's definitely better than just doing it in a blank lane. And clearly, as you see with this graph, the number of CS per minute does increase as you go from bronze all the way up to challenger. You want to have those mechanics in check. Second tip, attack, move, click. So attack, move, click is instead of just using a right click to move or attack your champion with your champion, you want to be using attack, move, click so you don't accidentally try and right click something and then misclick, you walk forward and you die. You want to be using attack, move, click so it helps you kite better, it helps you CS better, it helps you teamfight better. There's a reason that as you get higher in the rankings, more pros and more high level players are going to be depending on attack, move, click. Tip number 3. Ward more. Wards are information, information is power, and information can help you win the game. As you can clearly see from this graph, the number of wards placed increases as you rank up. And usually you get a lot of pushback from players being like, oh, well, I don't need to ward, I'm mid, and I can tell that like when their mid laner is playing a bit more aggressive, that probably the jungler's nearby. And I say, that's great, but wards are information for the entire team. For instance, if I'm playing AD carry and I'm in the bot lane and top lane's warded and I see their jungler top lane, well then I know that I have a window of time where me and the support can get aggressive on the other lane without having any risk of jungle pressure. So I know that we can force a 2v2 and get a double kill. But if I don't know where the jungler is, well then I'm going in for that 2v2 is going to be a bit of a risk. Wards are information, buy wards, place wards, especially trinkets. Like, guys, place your trinkets. Like, get information down on the map. And just ward more. Ward more, right here. Tip number 4, win conditions. Identify your team's win conditions, identify the other team's win conditions. Are you a poke team? Are you an engaged team? Are they a poke team? Are they an engaged team? How are your teams going to match up in this game? I've seen way too many times where an initiator looks at the score and says, hey, look, we're up 15 kills, we can just force the team fight and win. But no, we're a poke comp. We need time to poke them down and then initiate the fight, but you just initiate it and then we lose the fight. And then suddenly they're back in the game and they take objectives and it just snowballs out of control. So what does your team want to do? What does the enemy team want to do? If you're like an all AD team, well, you have to win the game pretty quickly or else the enemy team's just going to buy armor and you're going to do no damage. So make sure that in the champ select, in the loading screen, first couple of minutes of the game, you are thinking, and if you're in a pre-made, discussing what does your team want to do, what does the enemy team want to do, and how do we play around that. Tip number 5 is peel for carries. So this is a pretty simple tip. A carry will do approximately 400 to 500 DPS in a team fight, whereas let's say a tanky Nautilus or something might only do like 200 DPS. It's very clear that 500 is greater than 200, so you want that person doing double the damage to be as alive for as long as possible. And now, along with this is also a tip for carries. is carries need to kite towards the peel. So many times you see let's say a Renekton dash into your back line and your carry just runs straight away, like right towards your base. And that's great, they're making distance between themselves and the Renekton, but they're also making distance between you, who's actually trying to peel for them, so they can't complain because they're actively running away from peel. So kite towards people that can help you. Do a serpentine as well, just to try and make use of the full space of the lane, try and like delay them so that your team can run back and help you. Because if you're just gonna run away, you have nothing to complain about. The only person to blame is yourself. Tip number 6, build defense. How many times do you see this? You see a Yi or a Riven or a Rengar and they're building full damage and they jump in and they die. And they jump in again and they die. And they jump in a third time and they die. And then somewhere in their mind they think, if only I had this extra BF sword, when I jump in and die, I wouldn't die. So they're increasing their theoretical damage, but they're not getting off any damage because they're so squishy and they just die repeatedly. So let's say you build defense, you build a Gargoyle Stone Plate, and you jump in and let's say you do die. Well, at least it takes them longer to kill you, so that's more time for the rest of your team to position to do damage to their team. Or you don't die and you're actually able to start getting off all that damage that you've built up. So this isn't saying just build a full defense, but if you just keep going in and dying, building more damage isn't going to change the fact that you're going to keep going in and dying. So build a bit of defense and actually get some damage off. Tip number 7 is learn some meta champs and just learn more champs in general. There are certain reasons why certain champions are in the meta. They're either a little overpowered or they match up well to what everyone else is playing, and usually they have a slightly higher win rate than other champions. So if you're playing your off-meta pick and you have a 60 or 70% win rate on that, by all means keep playing that champion. But if you're playing it and you have something around 50, well, maybe it's time to switch up to a more meta-friendly champ, a champ that has a higher win rate, and use that because they're slightly more powerful than their counterparts. There's a reason that they're in the meta. And then just with learning champions, learn if your champ and your opponent, is it a level 2 or a level 3 power spike? What does level 6 do for them? For instance, Annie, super level 6 dependent, she wants to be able to get off that Tibbers. But if you're top lane against a Shen, level 6 for him doesn't really matter in the 1v1. Sure, he can teleport, but it's not gonna really help him if you're a Gnar beating on his face. Learn champion timings, what combos they like to use, and pretty much similar to identifying win conditions, what do you want to do, what do the enemy champions want to do, and use that information to be able to play against it. And finally, tip number 8 is attitude. Go into games happy, confident, don't be tired, don't be impaired, high, drunk, whatever. You're going to play ranked to win. So that means no, don't flame, don't go in tilted, don't go in a mindset where you don't think you're gonna win and you're gonna carry hard. You want to be able to be in that best mindset to give you the best chance of winning. Along with attitude comes taking blame. Take more blame than you give. Question mark pings for opponents are not going to do anything. They're not gonna help you win the game. They're just gonna piss people off and make you lose more. So take blame. Say you fucked up. Admit errors in your chat. If you screwed up, you say, well, yeah, guys, sorry, I'm fucked up. I'm not playing well today. I'm doing this, that, or the other. And if someone asks you, like, oh, why did you do that? Just say, sorry, I fucked up. Because it's super simple. It lets your team know that you're at least confident enough to admit that you made a mistake and that you realize that you made a mistake. But 2, for you, the first step to fixing something is admitting that there's a problem. So admitting that you made a mistake is admitting it to yourself. So yeah, I didn't CS well this game. Okay, that means that you probably need some more CS practice. I didn't team fight well. I did this, that, the other. All of that is letting you and your team know that you need to improve and identifying ways that you need to improve. And with all of this attitude stuff and all of these tips in general, the main thing is identifying that you are the single constant in all of your games. if you're camped by like the other team, well, you're gonna be against different players in the next game. Your team is going to be pretty much completely different in the next game, so you don't really have to worry about what your opponents or what your teammates are doing. You are the single constant. So what can you do individually to better your team, to better yourself, and to basically win more games? So anyway, thank you guys for watching. This is my 8 tips for ranked season 8. Let me know down in the comments down below what your own tips are just for ranking up. Let me know what you thought about these tips, this video in general. Feel free to definitely hit that like button. It really helps the channel just in terms of getting like search rankings and whatnot. Also lets me know if this video is like any good or if it's complete crap. And yeah, if you're just here to watch this league video and go on your way, that's fine. But if you want, you can definitely subscribe. Definitely helps out. And I'll see you guys in game. I'm gonna get to gold this year again. I didn't do it last season because I was busy. I don't think I maybe played like 2 placement matches, but this season I'm definitely getting to gold again. I want that skin, whatever the fucking skin it is, and that border. I need my border back. This is important to me. Anyway, see you guys in game.